Joseph, favored son of Israel.
The road to Emmaus. On the third day after Jesus' crucifixion, 2 of his disciples were going to the village of Emmaus. While they walked and questioned each other, Jesus himself came near and walked with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him.
What are we going to do now?
I thought he was the one. Why are you walking and talking so sadly?
Don't you know the things that have happened recently in Jerusalem?
What things? The things concerning the prophet, Jesus the Nazarene. The priests and our rulers crucified him.
But we were hoping that he would redeem Israel.
And now it is the 3rd day since these things happened.
Also, some of the women from our group said that he was alive.
Foolish people. Didn't the prophets write that the Son of Man had to suffer these things in order to enter into his glory? Beginning from the law and the prophets, he explained to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. This is just one of the stories Jesus could have told. Consider the story of Joseph!
Greetings, Bible nerds. It is I, Artsy Bible Nerd. When we
Joseph,
last left...
Favored son of
Wait a
Israel.
minute. What's going on here?
The road.
When we last left, Joseph, the title character, our hero, he was sitting around the fire with all of his brothers and his father Israel, telling them about his latest dream. And now we are about to draw in the Israel into the 3rd panel. Will I finish his head? Will I be able to go on to Joseph in the 4th panel? Tune in to find out. So, thank you everyone for being here last night. I think I had 6 people there. We had a raid. We raided Fireproof, and after that raid, Fred Rocks followed me. Thank you very much for that. And Dat Crew. Dat Crew is a brand new Christian, and he is show him some love because he's a streamer as well, and he has a bunch of questions about the Bible. And he's very sincere about his questions about the Bible. So feel free to follow him. So what we're going to do, without any further ado, is I'm going to do some inking. I'm going to make Israel, bring Israel to life. So first we're going to start on the nose. I'm not really sure where his eyes are going to be looking yet. Also, before we do that, we have to open his mouth because he's going to be speaking. This is the game we play when we don't know what layer is which. Where's that layer? Where is Isaiah? Where did I put him? There he is. Israel, not Isaiah. So let's erase. I said erase. I even labeled him so I wouldn't lose him. All right, so this is, let's do some measuring. That's a third, a third. So now we're going to make equidistant lines, and actually first, before we do that, let's go to this one again, and there, and there, and then we're going to put black lines in between to measure half. Black line there, black line there, and then a black line here. And let's go back to blue. All these lines are originating from approximately the ear. Nope, that's not what I want to do. From the black line. Here's the top lip. And the bottom of the bottom lip is that black line. And then we're gonna make all the rest of these originate from the jaw. Draw a circle more like an oval, egg-shaped oval, going this way, and then up to the nostril line. And now we know where the lips are going to end up. Let's show the bottom teeth. You're going to see the bottom teeth more than the top teeth. And they originate from the same source. Let's do some erasing. Here's the canine teeth. Canine teeth go inward, and then everything else goes inward as well. Nope, that was wrong. And then we are going to see some of the top teeth, but not as much. So I hear it's Prime Day today. You know where I heard that from? There's this song in my head that I can't get out of my head. When's that Prime Day? I need to know. So the way that you want to make teeth is you want to draw the top of the teeth and the gums of the teeth, and that's it. Do not connect the teeth to the gums. I do not know why, but it works. When you follow the rules, it works. Let me redo that. All right, this goes like that. And then that continues that way. And now we need the beard. So I think everybody is shopping today because, as the song says, it's that Prime Day. Yep. I think I have made a boo-boo, but that's okay. That's what erasers are for. This is why we draw digitally. All right, I think now we're ready to start inking. Inking layer on. Inking brush on. Dat Crew, I was just talking about you. How are you? Good to see you. First time chatter, Dat Crew. So, you have inspired me, sir, with your questions that you said that you needed something that will keep your attention because you have a low attention span. I have started a YouTube playlist based on the Book of John. It has there's a video series called the Lumo Bible. It's based on the Gospels, and so Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And so I'm taking all of the John videos, and these videos are sectioned off like 10 minutes per video. So every 10 minutes there's going to be a commentary on what you've just read. So I'm still working on it, still in the works. So how have you been? Did you get to buy anything on Prime Day today? You are very welcome. You are very welcome. And these commentaries are not just from one person. It was my my plan to just get all the commentaries from the Bible Project, but that does not exist. He did do one video about the whole book of John, but I'm going to put that at the end of the playlist. So we'll see how much further I get with maybe I won't stop at John. Maybe I'll go into the other books. Maybe I'll go into Acts. Is that an Amazon Prime thing? Yeah. Amazon Prime Day. Oh, you live in New Zealand, so maybe you haven't been seeing the commercials. There's deep discounts on Amazon today and tomorrow, so feel free to look. Feel free to look at Amazon. Today is the day to get the discount you're looking for. Perhaps I'll look out for the next one. There's still time. There's still time. That's what I'm saying. Prime Day is actually 2 days. The 12th and the 13th. It's the 14th. Are you serious? Are you serious? What day is it? Today's the 13th? Oh, man. This is what happens when you don't have to go to a job. My job starts sometime next week. Up and down as life goes. How about yourself? I am fine. I am doing well. So I'm supposed to start a job next week. They're supposed to send me an email telling me when all the paperwork is done, all the onboarding is finished. And then they can officially welcome me aboard. I've not gotten that yet. Gives me a lot of time to stream. Gives me a lot of time to take care of the kids. I work in IT support. IT support. So you call me up with your question, and hopefully I can answer your question. Why your computer is not working, or where the any key is, or how to turn it off and how to turn it back on. Thank you. Thank you very much. So how's your reading going on? How have you been reading anything? Have any questions about what you've read? Uh-oh, haven't read it all. What's the last thing you've read? Anything at all? Oh, wait a minute. I don't want it to make it. I don't want his beard to be so dark. So let's just do the outline of the beard and the John 1. Oh, well, John is that that chapter is very difficult. They get easier after John 1. John 1 is, if you read it every single word for word, you'll be very confused. Just know that the gist of it is that Jesus is the Son of God. It says the Word is God, and it's a lot of, let's see, let's go here to Google. Bible Project, Bible Gateway, that's it. Bible Gateway, John 1. I was in the same position. The first time I read the Bible, I read Matthew 1, and that was all about, okay, here it is. Word becomes flesh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made, and that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Whew. And that was just one paragraph, right? So, trust me, the next chapter gets easier. The next chapter gets so much easier. But the reason that John writes in this language is because he's writing to the Greeks who at that time, their word for logos, the word for word, is logos, which means something to the Greeks. And the Greeks would have been like, what? He's the logos? Yes, he is the logos. And you should listen to him. So chapter 2 is all about Jesus turning water into wine, and then he clears the temple courts, and it's a lot easier to read from there. So fear not. Do not be discouraged from chapter 1. All right, let's see what today is. So you think that today is just, today is just July 13th or 14th, depending on where you are in the world. And you think that this is a nothing day. But you may be wrong, because today is actually Wednesday the 13th, which is also called Barbershop Music Appreciation Day. Well, I believe I'm lax in my barbershop music appreciation. If only I had known this earlier, I would have gone out to appreciate some barbershop music. Tune in later to find out what other day it is. What else is the day of the 13th? As in barbershop quartet? I enjoy that style of music. I don't know much about it, but I enjoy listening to it. Cool. Awesome. Maybe you will be able to remember this day next year. I'm not sure if it's an International Appreciation Day. Maybe you could tell all your friends. Tell all your New Zealand friends. Can't remember. John chapter 1, dude. I won't remember barbershop music appreciation next year. That's why you have to have, on Instagram, I have subscribed to Daily Calendar 365. So the first time that I read the Bible, it was my goal to read it like a history book, so I could learn, who begat whom and who fought what war, and I didn't think I would believe in it, but I thought it was important to know. And the first chapter that I read was Matthew 1. Why did they put the most difficult chapters in the beginning of the Bible, just to ward people off. Matthew 1. Enter. Search. This is the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac, the father of Jacob. Jacob, the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah, the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. Perez, the father of Hezron. Hezron, the father of Ram. Ram, the father of Aminadab. Aminadab, the father of Nahshon. Nahshon, the father of Salmon. And it goes on. It goes on. It goes on. Until that's 16 verses of that. And I said, you know what, maybe I'll start. Maybe I'll close this book and I'll start again tomorrow. So, coincidentally enough, in quotes, I don't think it was coincidental, but like, it could have been a day afterwards. I wasn't keeping track. It could have been 2 days or 3 days. But I bumped into someone who invited me to their Bible discussion. Some stranger that I had no idea, never met him before. So I said, Bible discussion? That's very interesting. What do you do at this discussion? So he said that they read the Bible and everyone talks about what they think it means. And I said, okay, I'm interested. So there were many coincidences. Let's call them coincidences. When one coincidence happens once, it's easy to call it chance. But when multiple coincidences happen, very close to each other, it starts to seem like it's not a coincidence. It was not just random chance. So that's the kind of thing that I was running into back then. So I said, okay, so who could have orchestrated something like this? Who has the power So I'm assuming this was God who wants me to find him. So the more you read, the more it's just like anything else. The more you do, the more you ride the bike, the better you get. The more the more you drive a car, the better you get. The more you read the Bible, the more you understand. And I'm still learning stuff every single day. All right, so now I have to remember where the light is coming from. The light, he's right next to a fire. He's very close to the fire. The light is going to show on about half of his face. There we go. That is better than what I had before. Thank you. I don't want to believe it's my idea. I think it had to have come from God. It had to have come from... also, this is not the first time that someone has used the road to Emmaus in order to explain the prophecies. I thought I was the first. If you think you have an original idea about the Bible, you probably don't, because it's been around for 2,000 years. But there are other books based on the road to Emmaus. The conversation that Jesus had on the road. I have not read them. I just Googled the title, and I just found the titles. Let's take care of these gums. So what do you do for work, Dat Crew? While you're typing, I'll read Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot. Artsy Bible Nerd is drawing a comic book called Joseph, Favored Son of Israel, which is a story narrated by Jesus while walking with two of his disciples on the road to Emmaus. Oh, I forgot to mention. So the reason that Matthew mentions all those begats is because the audience that he was writing to was very interested in the genealogies, and they would be persuaded because of who Jesus was born to. On my third week of a new job processing vegetables, we just chop up the veggies all day. It's chill. Pretty cool. One of those tune out. I like those jobs that your hands can do all the thinking, and then you can just hopefully concentrate on other things like I don't know I hope your coworkers are good. Hope your boss is good. Wrestle thrift as a side. You wrestle thrift. Resell. You resell thrift as a side hustle. Oh, okay, cool. Words are hard. I wish you lived close to me so I could buy some thrift off of you. All right, let's see what else is today. Not only is it Barbershop Music Appreciation Day, it is Bean and Frank's Day. So eat some beans and franks along with your barbershop quartet music. Starting to wrestle. I have so much product. I'm confused here, a little confused about what these lines are supposed to do here. So here's the other major coincidence that happened, quote unquote coincidence that happened to me, is that I was in Philadelphia at the time, which is not my hometown, but I was scheduled to go back in order to take an office So, I met these nice people. They told me a lot about the Bible, and I said, okay, that's great. I'm going to have to find another church because I'm going to be moving in July. So, it's very nice to meet you, but I have to go. And they said, oh, well, we have a group of people who travel here every single week from Millersville, where you're going to be moving to. I said, really? So I could possibly be here every single week if I travel with those people? Huh. I wonder who could have set that up. Coincidence? I think not. I think I'm going to erase the bottom row. I'm going to do some erasing down here. And then those are just the major coincidences, but the ones, there were like minor coincidences happening every time I would walk back from the train from work. I would bump into one person or another who came from that church, and they would all say things like, "I wasn't supposed to be on this train. I wasn't supposed to be on this bus. I wasn't supposed to be walking this direction." That's like the church I checked out for the night service. I told my girlfriend's brother, who is a Christian, and he said, "Funny that I've just met a guy who's a pastor there. I'll put him on the phone and you guys can link up." Yes. Yeah. Sweet. Did I tell you have you been praying for a church? Did I tell you? There are some prayers that God will like, yeah, I don't think that's good for you. I'm not sure if you should really have what you're asking for. I don't want you to, yeah, I don't want you to win the lottery. I do want you to have money, but I do want you to work for your money, you know. But if you pray, could you help me find a church? Boom! I did tell me, man, but I've been slack, and I'm also very on the fence about God. Okay. Amen. Just keep on asking, keep on digging. Tom Server Crow is here. Hello, Tom Server. Servo Crow. So what I'm working on today, I'm working on Israel's face in panel number 3. There we go. I think I'm done with that layer. I don't think I need that layer anymore. So now we're going to work on the light. Where's the light belong? Okay, I was wrong. So let's keep that layer, and we'll use it as let's darken this side of his face, this side of the nose. Excellent. I believe you. I believe you can read chapter 2. You can do it. What's God working on in your life at the moment? Well, I believe he's working through Twitch. I believe I've met a lot of people through Twitch. If you can pray for my daughters. My daughter went to the doctor and they said some doctor stuff. Not really, can't remember exactly, but they need to do more tests to see whether or not she has Crohn's disease. So I'm going to put that on the prayer list. Is there anything I can pray for you for you? Besides reading John 2. Hint. Also, my wife is looking for a job, so we're praying for that. I send love and best wishes to your family. Thank you very much. So, have you been? Do you have any religious experience before in the past? So, my parents raised me as a Muslim. And I was taught to believe that the Bible. Did I tell you the story already? I was taught to believe that the Bible was not to be trusted because it had been overly translated. Misunderstood, incorrectly translated through the years. So that was the lens that I was looking through the first time I read the Bible. So I was just reading it in order to, just to learn it. I was always impressed with people who could quote it. And wanted to become one of those people. whether I believed it or not, I still wanted to be able to, either refute it or. And there were things about Islam that I was not happy with, so that was part of it. That was a big part of it. I did give my life to God about 10 years ago. I prayed and worshiped wholeheartedly, but apparently it was a feel-good church, if you're familiar with that term. Oh yeah, I think you said something about that. So what do you mean by a feel-good church? So were they doing a lot of jumping around and singing and dancing and tambourines and... I feel they twist scripture a bit and dumb it down. Also, it's more about friendships and connections rather than the Bible and God. Yep. Well, friendships and connections are important, and the Bible does tell us to love one another. But he also wants us to know something about the book, know something about the Bible, what it actually says, not just to believe because the leader says to believe. I heard something the other day that blind faith is not in the Bible. There's nowhere that the Bible asks for blind faith. As a matter of fact, there's a scripture that says that the Bereans, there was a town called Berea, and the Bereans were more noble in character than the Thessalonians because the Bereans listened to what Paul said and actually checked it out to see if it was true. So the Bereans didn't take Paul's word for it just because he was a nice guy. They did their homework. They checked out what he said, to see if it was actually true. I did meet my current girlfriend there, though, so that's a bonus. Excellent. Oops. Let's make that a little shorter line. Her family works at a company that makes the make and post Bible messages to prisons and indigenous communities around New Zealand. Wow, interesting. All right, so what am I going to do here? I'm just going to ignore that. Ignore it. That's what I'm going to do. Just draw around it. I'll come back for it when I use the other tool. So I checked out your channel. Apparently you do some streaming, some gaming. What kind of games do you play? All sorts, mainly Fortnite, League of Legends, sometimes art. All right. Do you have an art degree? What kind of art? I have so many questions. have a first year certificate. Okay. I started a bachelor, but was young and dumb at the time, and I'm starting the bachelor next year. Understood. I too was young and dumb, and now I'm old and dumb. Just because you get older does not necessarily mean that you get wiser. I started out, my parents told me not to be an artist because I was never going to make any money. So I fought against being an artist for a very, very long time. I tried computer science. I tried French. I'll be a French teacher. No, that doesn't work. I'll be nothing. Everything I tried to do besides art didn't work out because my heart was in art. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but, art is the only thing that I started that I ever finished. So I said, okay, well, I'm not going to just be a straight up artist. That would be silly. I'll be an art teacher. I'll teach art. And I didn't even finish that. I didn't even finish the art teaching degree, art education degree. So I do have a bachelor's degree in commercial art. So that means I did work a little bit in, I don't know if you ever called it, there's a company called Kinko's. They used to be called Kinko's. And they did some, copiers and graphics. So I was the computer guy, they called me. Which means that I made business cards and resumes but I was not accurate enough nor fast enough for them. So I started working in the copier area, the self-serve copier area, showing little old ladies where the start button is on the copier. And then, in order to make some more money, I tried shipping. I wanted to be in the shipping area so I could make more money. And I was doing well at that until I hurt my back. And a friend of mine who used to work at Kinko's offered me a job working IT at a bank, and that was 2009. So since then, I've been doing IT. All right, so now, what else do we have? What else is missing? Let's do the top of this. All right, let's find out what else today is. Today is also Embrace your Geekness Day. Well, that is every single day for me. That is celebrated every single day in my house and in my life. I know some people I should tell that to. Hey, you know, today is Appreciate Your Geekness Day. Embrace your Geekness Day. So what I learned from all those majors is that people are right when they say do what you really love, because that is what is going to, that's what's going to propel you to actually finish what you start, to actually do what you're supposed to be doing. And whether you're successful at it or not, that is not guaranteed. I don't like this line. This looks too... All right, I think that's better. Let's work out some lines here with the pencil again. The light is coming from in front of him. And it's going to get darker and darker the more it gets to the back. Sketchy and shady, sketchy and shady. He looks sketchy and shady. All right, this is going to be darker than the rest. This part is going to be the most dark. I do a wee bit of illustration and text manipulation. It's all a bit dark, though. It's all a bit dark, though. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about my drawing, or are you talking about your art, your text manipulation, dark art. You practicing the dark arts? My art themes are very non-Christian. Okay. Well, that is to be expected. All right, I think we're ready to start hatching. Maybe I'm checking to see if I missed anything. Maybe I should make this happen right there. So speaking of John 1 and text manipulation, I've always wanted, I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to give you this idea and you're going to do it before I get a chance to. I've always wanted to do the text of that chapter and manipulate it so it looks like Jesus on the cross. Feel free to do that before I do, if you're so inclined. So making a picture of Jesus out of the chapter. Yes, exactly. Greetings, James Arthur Reed, and salutations. Working on Israel's head today. I think I can... Nope. I forgot something here. I saw something I forgot. How's it going with you, James Arthur? I feel like I'm your parents, calling you James Arthur Reed, all three of your names. James Arthur Reed. Either that or a bill collector. The volume of the book speaks of Jesus, so oh, we're talking about John 1. Israel, formerly Jacob? Yes, exactly. Jacob was Jacob wrestled with God, wrestled with the angel of God, angel of the Lord, and after the, the wrestling event, um, the angel said, your name will no longer be Jacob. Your name shall be Israel, one who wrestles with God. All right, let's see what else today is. Today is not only Franks and Beans Day, it is not only Embrace Your Geekness Day, it is not only Barbershop Music Appreciation Day, it is Fool's Paradise Day? What does that mean? I need more information. What does that mean? Fool's Paradise. All right then. It's ironic his name is Jacob. How so? In what way is it ironic his name is Jacob? Do tell. Ooh, let's make that smaller. Ironic. My name is Jacob. Oh, well. Thanks, Nightbot. I've already beaten you to it. James Arthur Reed says, call me James. Today's been a good day. I repaired and reconciled my mother's picnic table. Reconditioned, not reconciled. Awesome. That's a win. That's a 1 in the win column. So it's been productive. Now I'm winding down, just hopping into streams to see what tickles my fancy. I'm always grateful to see when other believers in Jesus are live. Twitch and YouTube can be such a cesspool. I understand. Yeah, that's why I started doing things like this, is because I wanted to be a positive influence on all the negative influences. You can't just sit back and say, oh, there's so much negative stuff on YouTube, when you have the power to do something on YouTube. You know, YouTube is for you and others. So I said, what can I do? What can I possibly do about that? Uh, Fool's Paradise is a celebrated. Fool's Paradise Day is celebrated in order to take a day off to relax our minds. So just another day for me. Yep. A light in some of the darkest corners of our world. Thank you. Dat Crew, thanks for the follow. James Arthur Reed, I'll give you one back. Awesome. People meeting people. So we just learned that Dat Crew is an artist as well. James, do you do any art that I don't know of? I think I'm going to hatch that. I'm going to use the hatcher, the hatching pen. Is James still there? Testing, testing. My phone keeps bothering me. I set it to do not disturb, and for some reason it is still disturbing me. Jason, my art is light and sound design. For years, I gave myself over to the secular theater, whoring my gifts and skills for the pleasures of sin. Now I dedicate these to Jesus. Well, there you go. Do you work for a... In what way do you give those to Jesus now? I am confused. Confused. I think I should just, when in doubt, black it out. That's what they say. Also play various instruments. Oh, awesome. Also formerly for secular gigs too, but now on the praise and worship of Jesus and psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Cool. Awesome. I am a guitarist and a bassist as well. As soon as I found the bass, I was hooked. So I would like to just call myself a bassist now. But I really haven't touched the bass since the pandemic started. I've been concentrating on my art rather than on my music. All right, I think that's it. I think that's the answer. Mostly the answer. Sounds like you need to touch base with your musical side again. Da-dum. Da-dum. Yes, I get it. I see what you did there. We built this channel on rotten jokes. We built this channel on rotten jokes. James Arthur is primarily a bassist too. Come on, bassist. Also classically trained. Ooh, on piano and guitar. Wow. I am not at all trained. I'm self-trained on all of my instruments. Back in the days before books, no, not before books, before the internet, I got a book. Someone bought me a book. I saw some guy playing the guitar, and he wasn't playing it like, when I watched the music videos and I watched Van Halen, he made it look very difficult. But there was a guy that I worked with who invited us to go have some drinks at a local bar, and he was just going from chord to chord, and I was like, oh, that looks easy. I think I could do that. So I bought a used guitar from that very same guy for $50, 50. It had a sound hole that was made by the manufacturer, and it had a hole that was not made by the manufacturer. It had a big gash in the side of it. Used to play that song. I carried that broken guitar. Lasted a long time. That lasted a lot longer than it should have lasted. used to play that particular song in a past life. Not at all a problem. I don't mind non-sacred music. I just don't make it my primary focus anymore. Just a heads up that my content isn't Christian based. If you happen to swing by my channel in the future, no problem. I live in the real world. I live in a world where not everybody is a Christian. You can't escape the world. Used to play, you're having a conversation between yourselves. Not at all a problem. I don't mind non-sacred music. Just don't make it a primary focus anymore. You respect that. So what chapter of John did you want in the shape of Jesus? The whole book? Oh, the whole John 1, where it talks about the Word. The Word of God, right? The Word was with God. The Word was God. And I can't quote it by heart. Let's see. Were we there before? John 2. John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning, though through him and all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. Without him nothing has been made. Oof. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. You get the idea. It's poetry. I think it's supposed to be poetry. But at the same time, John is saying Jesus is the one that we've been waiting for. So it talks about the Word being God, and if you make that chapter into a bunch of words in the shape of Jesus, that's my idea. And just because if you beat me to it, that's fine. I'm sure I have a different idea of what it's going to look like than you have in your head. All right, Nightbot says it's time for me to rack my brain. And remember, James says, completely agree, Jesus ate and drank with sinners so much that he was accused of being a drunkard. Jesus was far more relational than confrontational in his ministry. So long as something isn't explicitly sinful, when in Rome, ... He's wrongly accused as being, yes, exactly. He even made wine from water for people who were already drunk. The party had been going on for some time. All right, Nightbot says it is time for me to rack my brain to remember what I've learned this week from the podcast I've listened to. I'm sorry to say I have not listened to anything last night. I've already told you what I learned the night before about how to present the gospel to people who are Jewish. And that's already in my Discord. So I'm sorry, I do not have anything to add tonight on that front. That crew, I'll have a go at the John chapter idea. I'm not trying to steal it from you, I just need to push myself to create more art, and I'll use this as a challenge. Awesome. You go. You text manipulator, you. You've done more text manipulations than I have, so you probably have a better idea than I do. I'm sure I'm not the only person who has ever had this idea. Don't actually have much graphic design experience. I used to graffiti a lot, so that's where my text manipulation comes from. Okay. That could be cool. That could be... That's a different kind of text that I was thinking of. All right, let's get rid of the background. Uh-oh. What have I done? Okay. Whew. Let's take care of this right now. Catching up with chat. I'm trying to convert it all to digital text manipulation. My artistic ability is primarily in the written word and singing. Okay, cool. I love poetry, and playing instruments in worship is where I find my greatest expression. Sweet. Are you saying you write songs as well as sing them? does a bit of light and sound too. Is that theater production type of work? Excellent question. Uh-oh, that is the wrong tool. That's not what I want it to look like at all. Twitch mobile crashed again and fed me ads. I didn't catch what you were saying. What was I saying? What was the last thing you heard me say? Dat Crew asked about you do a bit of light and sound too. Is that theater production type of work? Ugh, I hate when that happens. Are we still on? Yep. All right, it's almost time for me to sign off. This has been a very good discussion. Thank you guys for hanging out. Let's find somebody to raid. James Arthur says, yes, I've done regional shows in Cleveland, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, PA. What? Pittsburgh, PA? I live in Pennsylvania. You must live in the western part of Ohio and Pittsburgh. Probably Cleveland. Oh, you said Cleveland, didn't you? And everywhere in between, I've designed and run lights and sound in shows that set a dozen up to 400 people over several weeks. Epic. All right. Thank you everyone for being here. I have been working on emotes. Twitch does not give me any free emotes because I have not done enough hours. So, but let's see who is available to raid. Don't leave yet. Don't forsake your channel points. You get channel points for staying along with the raid. Let's raid Chovy. Feel free to copy and paste the raid call. I will copy and paste this one. I was wondering why that happened. So let's go find Chovy. He's got 3 people there playing Sea of Thieves, clicking on Start Raid. 3 viewers are ready to raid. Thank you everyone for being here. I will see you tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, may the Lord be with you. Raiding now.